Welcome to the 2019 season of fantasy football.
See, and you know what's crazy is that the year ended with these two guys. So, I mean, it's only fitting that it should start with us.
I've never heard him say anything more intelligent in my life.
You know, we're just going to start by saying the thing that's going to be the most obvious, and we're going to do preseason rankings.
Yep.
And as you all know, we started 8. And as we all know...
Danny Hasler.
Yeah.
Now...
You're starting at 8, man.
You're starting at 8. You're starting the draft at 8. You're starting the rankings at 8. And you're finishing the year at 8. And unfortunately... And the reason that I'm saying this is because you guys know that I'm a betting man. I like to go to Vegas. I like to bet on sports. It's just part of my personality a little bit. I'm a betting man. And if I had to put all of my money... If someone, put a gun to my head and said, who's going to have the worst record in your league? I'd say, well, let's think back as to who's always consistently a top 2 or 3 bad team in our league. Yeah. And at his worst has been the worst team of all time.
Historically speaking.
And
that was the worst year of fantasy football we have ever seen in this league.
With the worst performance we have ever seen in this league. And that dates back to no PPR.
Yeah. And, going into the year...
6 years of history.
We just kind of have to do it. We really have no other options. Coming off a historically bad year.
We're
going into year 7.
And you know what? Prove us wrong.
You are one of the OGs, though.
You are an OG.
Mad respect.
You are an OG, and that's the thing. It's kind of like a politician who's been in the game for so long. How it's like he's got dirt.
Yep.
But it's like, yeah, he's got dirt. He's been in the game for 40 years.
That's right.
Danny, you've been in the league for 6 years. You're an OG. But at the same time, you've given us a lot of material to make sure that we make the right decision as far as our rankings go going into the year.
And hopefully this fires you up because you want to hear my bold prediction.
What's your bold prediction?
You said if you were betting on it, gun to your head, you're taking Danny last.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Ben last.
You're taking Ben?
Yeah.
The 2-time division winner?
Yep. You know why? That number 1 pick has been cursed.
That's not a bad point.
And I believe
Alex still made the playoffs last season, though.
That's true, but at number 7 is Bachman.
It's Bachman.
And that was the biggest choke of all time.
And that's the thing, too. It's like, Bachman's going to sit here man, we're talking about history. I got a championship. I had one of the best teams last year.
Yeah, but you know what cuts out that championship? Loses all credibility on that championship? That choke job.
That's what's the worst thing we've ever seen? I lost 3 straight championships.
I'd rather be Danny, honestly. I would rather have no faith all year. Rather than think you have the best team and not make the playoffs.
This guy in week 10 was sitting in Florida, in the beautiful state of Florida. This man was sitting in week 10 saying, I live in a completely different state, and I'm still going to win my team. I'm still going to win my league's fantasy championship. I'm going to get my second ring. My teams are. I have Tyreek. I have Evans. Who was his third receiver? Tyreek Evans and who else?
Hopkins.
He had Hopkins.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I got Mixon. I got 2 QBs I like.
David Johnson.
I got David Johnson. My team is loaded. And then you just look at what happened, and
well,
I don't know how you recover from that.
You know what they say? It's always filled with headlines. Florida man chokes in fantasy football with a great team. It happens. But you're 7 for a reason, and
you're
you know
7 for a reason. And again, he made a big trade. We'll talk about that a little bit later after the initial power rankings. But he made a big trade. He's making moves. He doesn't want that to happen again.
Yeah, and these preseason rankings are essentially last year's final standings, and
they pretty much are. We didn't go too much into them. We're just kind of previewing the season for each and every one of you guys.
Yeah.
Especially number 6, because this man. He hasn't made any noise yet, but he's been chatting a little bit on the trade market. There's some picks he might want to move up for. He's got some ideas. And if he doesn't, he's got a big decision at number 4.
I know. And he got hurt last year. Mm-hmm. We all remember that.
We all remember that. And we all remember the offers that this man received.
Yeah.
For either Connor or Le'Veon.
Yep.
We all sent, I think everybody maybe... I can't speak for everybody, but I know at least half of the people in this league sent him some decent offers for Le'Veon.
Yeah.
That he obviously did not act upon.
Fuck. Even Alex Collins for Le'Veon would have been a good trade.
Dude, my kicker for Le'Veon would have been a good trade, considering my kicker scored points.
Yeah.
Like
fuck, man.
And that's where I feel like, but Alex made the playoffs still because he beat Bachman on some Wolves Nugget shit
Yep.
to get into the playoffs. And he's been in here 2 years, and he had a good team the first year, and last
he
year
took
he got
second.
fucked.
No, he didn't take second.
He didn't take second. I think he got he won. He got second in his division. I know
Yeah.
that he was like
He had a good
he was
year.
like 9-4 though,
Yeah.
8-5 in that range.
He had a
Like
good year.
yeah, he was good. He's been solid. He somehow stayed afloat last year despite everything that happened to him. So I think Alex, and now it just depends on how his draft goes.
Yeah.
I just-
mean,
If he loses his first round pick again, like then
and there's rumors going around the league. I've been talking to some insiders and getting some reports on a possible Zeke signing in the 4th pick. And
yeah,
after what happened last year, I don't see him doing that.
I don't
But
think
I've
he'll
heard
do it
heavy
either.
talks about it.
And that's another reason why I think Le'Veon will still be on the board with 5th pick, because I just think he can't let the same snake bite him twice.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
And the thing is with Alex is I think he might take Zeke to prove a point.
I think he
And
might
if
too.
and-
Or you can also take Le'Veon to prove a point. Be like Bachman said, like
Yeah.
fuck it. He sent him the tweet. You
Yeah.
know? Like, yeah, I'm gonna make it up to you. And Alex is like, fuck it, do it for me.
Yep.
I deserve it, but then he might not, because he plays for the Jets and hasn't played
Sure.
football in a year and already got paid.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see. That 4 pick weighs heavy for the rest of the draft, I'll tell you that. What goes down at first 3 is solidified, of course.
Yes.
1, 2, and 3 is solidified.
It's
What
solidified.
happens at 4 defines what happens in the rest of the first round, even early in the second round.
Absolutely.
That's
And
what's crazy.
and it impacts a lot of what I'm gonna do instead of the trade I made. But at number 5, but at number 5, we've got a
Very quiet.
very quiet,
No reports coming out of Camp Victor.
none.
But-
He has been dead silent, just studying.
His draft scheme is a mystery.
It
And
is.
We're all waiting to find out what happens.
And his draft scheme has always been a mystery.
You know,
We can calculate it down to some things. We
Yep.
can say he just drafts who he likes. We can
Yeah.
say that he likes to try and be bold. Whatever he tries to do, if that's the case, there's no pattern of it.
Yep.
It's like there's instances of everything.
Yeah, and
We
I
have
was,
no clue what you're doing with that 6th pick or 5th pick.
Yeah, and I was actually got a report from Mel Kiper.
Sixth pick.
In Mel Kiper's mock draft, he has Victor taking David Johnson with that 6th pick.
And Mel's not a dumb dude.
Yeah.
And the thing with that though is, what if David Johnson's gone? What if Alex plays it smart at number 4? I don't think that'd be a bad pick.
No, not at all.
What is Victor going to? Is Victor going to take Hopkins at 6? Is Victor going to take Le'Veon at 6? I wonder what Victor's going to do there. Victor could go completely out. What if Victor took Gurley at 6?
Yeah, man. Endless possibilities. And honestly, none of them would be bad picks.
What if Victor took Odell at 6?
Then he's pushing it.
Then he'd be pushing it, but he could do it. Odell
He
has
could. He
15
could.
touchdown potential. He has top 3 receiver potential.
That's what I'm saying.
He might not get him on the wraparound. You got to pick who you like.
That's right. It's going to be wild. And that's one of those picks where, you got 7 guys you're happy with right there.
Oh yeah,
But it's picking the right one and picking the guy you want, and we don't know who that is.
absolutely. And Victor had his best year of fantasy last season that he's ever had.
Yeah,
And that's a
true.
fact. It's an absolute
It's
fact.
the most active he's ever been. It's
Yep.
fucking just
He
blew
made
us
some
out of the water.
trades.
Blew us away.
He made some trades that helped him. He made some trades that hurt him. That happens when you make trades.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he finished over 500. I believe he didn't win a playoff game, but he lost to Wilson, I believe.
Yep.
But he got in the playoffs, and you had a shot.
Yeah, man.
You had one of the best teams you've ever had.
It happens.
You were competitive. You could have beat anybody on any given week,
Yep.
and no one's like,
And
we're good.
the guy who beat him in that first game of the playoffs had a ended the year with a pretty good team, in my opinion.
He did.
And-
Wilson's team was solid.
And he had a really good week against Victor in the playoffs. And Wilson with the 3 pick, I believe. Wilson got the first choice in the draft lottery. He had first choice in
And he
his
did
pick.
exactly what I would have done.
Yep. Because there's 3 solidified guys, and you have the better second-round pick. That was the smart call. And who's going to be the third, though? You're obviously happy with Saquon, McCaffrey, and fucking Kamara, but
See, that depends who you're talking to because there's a lot of guys who would say, I got the first pick, I'm taking Saquon, no question.
Yeah.
I'm a McCaffrey guy, and there's a good chance that dude's at 3.
Yep. And I'm a Kamara guy, and there's a good chance.
Yeah, and I got like if I had the first 2 picks in our draft, right?
Yep.
Obviously, it's not possible. But if I had number 1 and 2, I'd pick Kamara and McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a chance that this dude could end up with Saquon, depending on what people are feeling.
Yep.
Hearing some of the chatter around the league that we've heard, he won't be able to get Saquon at 3.
Yep.
Because of, number 2. But we don't even know. Ben's, I mean, fuck, for all we know, he might take Joe Flacco.
Yeah, that's what the reports are coming in, that Joe Flacco's flying off the board at number 1.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Joe Flacco pick. It's like, it's bold, but he's getting who he wants.
Exactly. And, I mean, he's on a new Broncos team, stacked Broncos team. He's going to go off. I mean, Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl ring for a reason.
Absolutely. And he
could
could also bring you a fantasy football championship ring. I mean, if you're not picking Joe Flacco at number 1, or at least not considering it, I don't know why you're even playing fantasy football.
I'm completely with you, man.
Yeah.
And I had him penciling him at 5.
Yeah.
Until I heard reports where he's going number 1, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I do now?
Yeah. Like,
take a scrub like Le'Veon or Hopkins? Like, I don't want that.
no.
I don't know. That
There's too much risk there.
blows my mind. Anyways, at 3, we do have the guy who has the number 1 overall pick, who is considering taking Joe Flacco and blowing us all away to win the league with that pick. And
yes. And the reason he's at number 3 is because this guy's been in the league for 2 years. He has a championship, and he's never lost a division.
Yep.
And, like,
he's
always been in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's done the right things. And we can
Like,
hate on him all we want.
We
for
can
getting
say
lucky and
yeah. We said that a
points
bunch
against.
last year.
Like the points against is just
The
still
stats back
pisses me
up our
off.
opinions, but the fact of the matter is he's still winning games.
Yeah, and you can't knock it. It's the name of the game.
Right.
It's fucking winning, and he does it.
Yep.
And you know what? He's got a ring. He won a ring his first year in the league. I mean, what are you gonna do? He deserves to be at number 3, and
He absolutely does. And number 2.
it's just unfortunate.
Number
it's
2
right
might
there.
be the one if we're talking history in this league.
It'll blow you
Where
away.
it's bold, but it's this guy.
Yep.
Obviously, you can't argue with this guy's history. But this guy right here, like, last year you put together a very, very good team.
Yep. And it was the first year where I didn't make trades biasly, and I didn't draft biasly,
Yep. Yep.
or pick up waivers biasly.
You kind of made a draft day trade that was somewhat biased.
Oh, it was very biased,
Yeah.
but it was for a good reason. There was liquor involved, you know. That was a different story. It's draft night. What
Once you
happens
get
on
the
draft
draft
night
night-
stays on draft night.
My bad. That was a false report.
Come on, Rappaport.
Hey, false Rappaport.
Yeah, AB's going to the Bills. No shit.
But no, I just you have number 5, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff you could do with that range of picks.
Yeah, and I've seen mocks, I've heard rumors about who I'm taking at 5, and Le'Veon seems to be the consensus. And if he's not there, anything's open, and nobody knows what he's going to do at 5.
That's true, and like I mean, close sources to him have confirmed. Sources that live with him. I can't speak on their names.
Yeah.
Like, but he's kind of just gonna play that by ear. I feel like.
Yep.
And that's what it's sounding like. He's going to play it by ear and how it goes on draft day because we still don't know if Zeke's going to sign a contract by then and who's going to be there at 5.
That's true.
And there's a lot of guys that he likes, but he might like one a certain day better than he likes another one on a certain day.
Exactly. That man has...
I think I have it narrowed down from my sources who those guys are going to be.
Yep.
I just don't know which guy it's going to be on draft day.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, fuck, it depends. I mean, he's been known to get a little out of control when he's drinking Crown or rather than beer, and who knows what's going to be going down on draft day.
He is, and I believe that was a strategic play by Team Bachman.
Yep. And a lot's going to go down on draft day, and everything is going to be pretty much out of the blue. Nobody really knows what's really going down.
No,
we can.
I mean,
we can have Mel Kiper mocks all we want.
True.
We can listen to him. 6 days from now,
anything can happen.
you better believe it.
Anything can happen. Like
Michael Thomas could go at 5 from reports I'm getting.
There have been hot rumors about that happening.
Yeah, like stove hot.
And if that's the case, is someone going to jump to get Michael Thomas?
Oh.
I don't think so. I think it could happen.
Yep.
I think a lot of people like Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people might think these reports are bluffs, but trade up to get number 8 to be safe.
Yep.
Or number 7 to be safe. There might be value in that pick that Bachman just acquired from the guy who comes in at number 1 in our rankings.
Yep. He's
That'd be me.
league champion, defending champion, great history in the league, and you can't question these rankings. I mean, it is what it is. You look at all the stats, you look at all the history, you look at everything that went into last year and what's going into this year. Who's putting in the work, who's not. And it's obvious who's at number 1. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I can't argue with it, and nobody can. If you try, good luck, because you're not on the show, because you have a puny mind. And guess what? We're coming again.
Bold prediction. The champion of this league is sitting on this couch.
Well, that's a fact. The champion.
That's what I'm saying. No. This season.
Oh, this season. Oh.
That means I'm putting my my money on one of 2 people.
Yep.
That wasn't quite a brag.
If it was, I'll give you guys this. I'll tell you guys this. If there was a bet to place who's winning this league, and it's us 2 versus the field, just one of us versus the other fucking 6. I'm putting $100 on whoever's on this couch. And that's just a fact.
That's just a fact. It's just
And
that's how it's gonna go.
one colludes and one finesses in trades. And you can't argue with that. I mean, the trade finesse, you guys can trade up for stars all you want and talk about your own schemes, but there's really just been a winning formula established that people don't realize. And once you realize what that is, I'm not going to give it away because obviously I don't know.
It's like the Krabby Patty formula, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the fact of the matter is there's this fantastic burger that you have learned how to make. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes that burger doesn't have bacon on it.
Or pickles and
We'll call bacon.
SpongeBob's case.
Exactly. But we'll call bacon the championship.
Yep.
Sometimes that formula doesn't have bacon on it. Sometimes that burger's not perfect, but that burger's always going to come out fucking 9.5 out of 10.
Yep.
And until that burger comes out looking like a microwaved after 2 days McDonald's single cheeseburger with no condiments, why would you not keep making the burger the way you've been making it?
That's exactly it. Oh, shit's crazy.
And sometimes, guess what? You're going to remember, while that burger's on the grill, to get your ass up and put that bacon in the microwave about a minute before it's ready.
Yep.
And
some
guess what?
people just don't want to do that work.
And some people just don't want to do that work. And that's okay, because some people like regular burgers.
That's fair.
That's fine. Some people like... I like regular burgers. I love to make regular burgers. But man, put that bacon on that burger. Put that little extra spice of secret formula on that burger. Oh, baby, then we're fucking cooking.
Something's coming this year.
And I don't have a pick until 10. I have basically 5 picks in rounds 2 through 3.
And to get into that, actually, that's a good segue.
It's a good segue.
You know what we're going to talk about? Some of you know, some of you may not know. I hope you all know.
And I hope you made it this far. We were going to try and keep this video under 20, but I feel like this is some good content.
Yeah. And
for the 3 people who will watch it, you're going to enjoy it.
I'll let you give the trade because you were involved in it. And
I'm
I'll give
involved.
my input on the trade after you.
Yeah, I'd like to hear
trade.
your honest take on camera.
Yep.
Like, we've talked about it a little bit,
Yep.
but I'd like to hear your take as an analyst.
Okay.
Okay, so, Team Bachman. We don't have a lot of us change our team names.
Yep.
I can't call my truck premature draftulation. That's not my team anymore. We're drafting at a reasonable time.
Yep.
Bachman. Team Bachman trades. The number 15 overall pick. The 7th pick in the 2nd round.
Yep.
The number 18 overall pick. The 2nd pick in the 3rd round. I trade the number 7 overall pick. The 7th pick in the 1st round. The number 39 overall pick. The 7th pick in the 5th round. And then we swap ninth rounders where I get the second pick in the ninth and he gets the seventh. That is 66 I received. I gave away 71.
Yep. And I was here. I was in the room when the two GMs were talking, fiddling stuff out, talking about it.
Remember, I wanted to get this deal done for those 2 early picks because we had a little bit of a better swap.
Yep.
And he started to get a little iffy after he talked to his guy Alex outside.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what, man? Let's just swap ninths. I'm not budging on more of any of that, but let's just swap ninths. He knows that's the truth.
Yep.
And I think that, I don't know if that's what got him over the edge, thinking it was all right. But, like, I was ready to do this trade.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he got taken advantage of at all. I don't think I destroyed this man in this trade whatsoever.
It wasn't a destruction. And
if I didn't have 10, that trade doesn't get made.
Initially, my initial thought is Bachman is getting bumped.
That was your initial thought.
Because the value of that second and third round pick, man, is insane. Because you can still get stars at that pick. Not solidified top 5 at their position stars, but they could be. That's where you take chances on guys who could be stars, who aren't, or you get solidified, consistent guys who are trade fillers or who are just going to complete your team. And that 7, the consensus is Bachman trade up to 7 to get that 1-2 punch. But he doesn't pick again until what, 30?
I believe his next pick is 31.
31.
So he has 24 picks in between.
So he has 2 picks in the top.
That's the
7.
Second to last pick of the 4th round.
Yep. And at that point, that's the.
Well, there's still guys in this draft I do like in that range.
Yes.
And it depends on what he does. See, like, I understand the trade from his perspective, having number 2 already.
Yeah, having 2, if it would be way different if he was at 4 or 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't
get
that solidified 1, 2, 3.
That's why I think the trade was, like, fair. I think for both sides it was fair for what we wanted to do. Because Bachman wants that 1-2. He wants 2 guys that he's like, all right, I either got 2 running backs I fuck with, or I got the best receiver on my board, and one of the 3 running backs that I like the best.
Yep.
Like, and I fuck with that. Like, you can't. And if you're gonna trust yourself to not get completely hammered on draft day and take a good team with those later picks, when it comes to round 5 and round 6, then you might have just won the draft. But
see,
the fact
that's where
is,
I think it's gonna get dangerous.
Well, that's exactly my thing, and like that's why for me, in every single draft you can go back and look at. I know we've got pictures of the draft board somewhere.
Yep.
Like my money picks are never. I mean, like sometimes they're like in the first round, but they're usually always 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
I got 5 picks in that range now.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm just like, all right, like, and usually I swing and miss with my normal draft order. Now I can swing and miss and get solid dudes in that range.
Yep. And it's the thing is with that, depending on how drunk Bachman gets for the rest of his draft, is from picks.
Which statistically and photographically speaking,
I know what you're saying.
No, oh yeah,
it's legit.
Like there's proof this happens, and this is a 2 year in a row thing.
Yeah. And the
and
difference
third
is
time's
now,
the charm, baby.
Yep. And the thing is now, is there's a lot of time between pick 7 and pick 31.
And
what are you going to do with that time?
And when he gets to 31, look at this. He gets here and has to make 3 picks in the span of 10. I don't know why we're telling him this, but he's not going to watch this far. So guess what? It doesn't matter.
Yep. And I can already see it now. And the thing is that on draft night it gets. I mean, we don't record it. We don't do nothing. It's specifically what happens on draft night stays on draft night. And we all know what is going down.
Absolutely.
And I don't think he makes right picks there. I don't think he makes the right picks.
I mean, Bachman doesn't have a history of drafting well in, like, I can't say in that range, but I'm saying, like, with important picks like that.
Yep.
I mean, this is the same guy who in one draft took Colin Kaepernick in the 2nd round. This happened. He saw 2 QBs fly off the board. He says, I need my guy. Like, I'd love to see I'd love to see how many weeks Colin Kaepernick was on his team that year. Like, what are you going to do at 31? Are you going to take A.J. Green or Tyler Boyd at 31? Joe Mixon's not going to be there. What if you fuck around and take Joe Mixon at 7?
Ooh, which is possible.
I think it is possible. I think if it goes 6 running backs off the board, which I think might happen, and that might fuck me up at 10, but it also puts me in a good spot at 10. Like, if that happens, if 6 running backs come off the board, which I wouldn't blame any of those picks for going running back.
Yeah.
You need to get your guy. So, that happens, right? Why wouldn't Bachman take Mixon at 7?
Yeah.
Like, if he's not feeling the heat. Like, because I'm high
at
on
that
Mixon.
point,
Mixon will not get past my wraparound. Mixon
no,
probably
not
won't.
a chance.
And if I go,
I don't even think he'll get to that wraparound.
And if I go receiver at 10, there's no way that Mixon gets past 15.
No. And the crazy part is that if Bachman takes a wide receiver at that pick, who's his RB2 at 31? Kerryon Johnson?
Yeah, and you know what? I like Kerryon Johnson, but got hurt last year and not very proven.
Yeah.
If that's going to be the case, like...
I'm taking him, and if I'm taking him, it's going to be at my flex spot. I want to have a solidified RB1 and 2 if I'm going to take Kerryon Johnson.
See, this is why the one part about that trade that I regret with Bachman is I wish I wouldn't have given him 39. I wish it would have been 55.
Yep.
Because that range, there's a lot of guys that in my flex I would love because those guys can be replaced.
Yep.
But I've also, and like you guys could also speak to yours, and I wouldn't be able to know on it. But I know for me, at least in this league, I got a nice, rich history of hitting on those guys that I like.
Yep.
So like, or at least being able to trade to get them.
And this year, I don't think we've ever had a year like this where everything is just so up in the fucking air.
Absolutely.
3 picks. It's always been like first round is definitely like usually solidified who's going. Just the order is different.
And I feel like like this year it's like we don't even really know who's going in the first round.
Yeah.
Like
it's
because
like the top 3.
You know, like I'm not gonna say it on this, even though everyone, fuck it, I will say it on this. The only people who don't know are the 2 people I can guarantee won't watch this, Wilson and Ben.
Yep.
Like I love James Conner.
Yeah.
Like I would have taken him at 7.
Yep.
Like Danny knows this, Bachman knows this. Like anybody who might possibly take him knows this. Like this is public knowledge. I am on the James Conner train. He's my 4th ranked running back. He's my 4th ranked player.
Yeah.
Like, and guess what? All you guys have told me, and you might be bluffing. It doesn't matter if you are or aren't, and I don't think you are, because why would you? You've all said you take Gurley ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this draft is like. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And neither way, I feel like either way at this point right now, either one you pick, it's a good pick. And the thing is,
it's all depending on who you like and why you like him.
Yeah. And obviously I'm biased for Gurley because I had him last year. He fucking was a...
He got you 2 but lost you in the championship.
Yeah. He was the reason I was the highest scoring team. I mean...
I lost the championship because of him in this league, and then lost another one last year because of him in another league. In a league I definitely deserve to fucking ring in. But that's not what this is about.
Yep.
And I don't know, and that's why I like having all these picks in that range, and that's why you're gonna... Anybody who gets to this point probably already knows that maybe Victor doesn't, Danny doesn't. Number 10's for sale.
Yep.
And number 15 and 18 are for sale.
Yeah, and there's been discussions on both those picks, and
there's been a lot of discussions.
There's going to be a lot of draft day trades, I feel like.
And there's going to be a lot of...
Between that 2nd and 3rd round. Early in the 2nd, late in the 2nd, early in the 3rd, I feel like. There's going to be a lot of trade talks, a lot of picks moving, picks getting swapped, and it's going to get interesting.
It will get very interesting, and that's why I want to be solidified at what I'm... Like, because, like, if I can know what I'm doing going into draft day...
Yep.
5 injuries could happen, and I could still know exactly what I'm going to do.
Exactly. That's the crazy shit.
And that's why it's like, there's a lot of guys I like, like, that I'm high on, but there's a lot of guys that are in that range that I probably can't take at 23 without people being like, whoa. Yeah. And without even me looking at my team afterwards and being like, that's a really big risk. But if that guy is sitting in my flex spot,
chilling. Like a fucking villain.
And that's why, and like Alex goes, strange approach you're taking. Right? I'll break that news. Like Alex said, it was a strange approach I'm taking, and I explained to him why, and he told me it made sense. But guess what other approach makes sense? Trading up and getting those guys you love in that top 15 range. And I got 2 picks.
It just all depends on what you want to do and how you want to work it.
Holla. call for it. Because I know that Alex likes stars.
Yep.
I know all these guys. I know Bachman likes stars. He's already proven it.
Yep. He pulled the trigger on that trade quick. Which, going back to that, I think it's the most even trade. I think it's a lot more even after looking at it and looking at the mock drafts and seeing what
Him
could
getting
possibly go
39
down.
makes that a lot more even.
Yeah. And
Like-
and you wouldn't think so. You would think, oh, it's 39, like it's fucking
Like it's a throw-in 5th rounder.
yeah.
It's
Like-
it's the second to last pick of the 3rd round. Who cares? But like no, like that was like the fact that was on the table from the beginning. Like I probably should have gotten my initial swap of like 87 for 66, and like I should have stuck on that. But I wanted this trade to get done, and I'm like, you know what? Round 9, there's going to be enough people there that I'm like don't know if they'll get there. That might be my quarterback.
Yep. And the
be
more
honest.
assets you stack,
And I wanted that
But
deal to
you
get
can
done
do it.
because I wanted those assets in the back end.
yep.
And like now I have 10, 15, 18, 23, 26.
Yeah.
Like that right there is make it or break it time for me. But man, that's fucking 5 picks.
That gives
That
you
is-
an opportunity to take chances on
That's
guys
a
who
flat-
could be
hey,
number ones.
I'm not going to take a QB for sure with those picks.
Yep.
And I maybe, more than likely won't, but maybe we'll take a tight end.
Yep.
So if I don't take a tight end, I have a flex
Yeah.
after those picks. I'm fine.
Yeah. And hopefully this gives guys incentives to make fucking moves. We were just doing tape on last year's shows and looking at last year's shows, and you know what the common theme was every week? Talking about people making moves and how the good teams and the guys at the top every single week made moves that week.
Absolutely.
And it blows my mind that guys are content with being mediocre.
Right, it's like I'm just content with these. Like whatever they give me, I'll take. It's like no, it's like why don't you just go make a move and make your team better?
Yeah.
You know what it takes? You go
Fucking
to
balls.
and it takes balls and going to your fucking contact list and shooting somebody a text and saying I sent you a trade, go look at it.
Yep.
And guess what? Something might get done that helps your team. It's not hard. It takes 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah. And
Little nudging.
that Cloud division fucking lived together last year. And guess who made the least amount of moves? All the fucking guys that lived right fucking within three blocks of each other.
The only 2 that made bold moves were Danny and Wilson.
Yeah.
With that trade they made, and then Danny made a couple more trades.
Yep.
Because Danny was like, you know what? His team was bad. He was just trying to. Obviously, it didn't help. I don't want to give too much credit to Danny, but like he tried. But like Wilson made the trade for Antonio Brown. He had Zeke already, so
Yep.
he traded Melvin. Got him. There you go. Make a move. Wilson went to the 2nd round. Wilson was a win away from competing for a championship and getting double his investment his
Yep.
first year in the league if he lost the championship.
Yeah.
So, like, he made a move. Make a move, Alex. Trade Le'Veon. Make a move, Kyle. Like,
That still blows my fucking mind.
oh, man. Like,
Holy shit, man! All year we were going back and watching it. Everybody was 5-5 at one point, except for 2 teams. The first place team, which was 1 win ahead of 5-5, and the last place team, which is
you know.
we know we won't talk about it.
We've said
Fallen soldier.
enough.
But like, come on, man! Like everybody was 5-5 except for 2 teams. 6 fucking teams were 5-5, and guess what? You finished 5-8. You were fucking 5-3 at one point.
like, it's
You were 5-2 at one point. I'm pretty sure.
honestly, it's incredible.
Holy shit, man!
Because this is a former champion.
Yeah, you would think he knows by now. He's an OG too.
He's an OG.
He knows
He's
the
an OG,
winning
and he was
formula.
sitting right there. Like, man, 2 OGs are sitting down, not making the playoffs.
And that's the problem with getting all those stars is that you're so fucking wary to trade them.
Well, that's the thing, too. People are scared to trade their stars for something better.
Yep.
Why are you getting so attached to a guy who gave you a 25-point week? Okay.
And then the next week he gives you like a what, 6?
Okay, get attached to that guy who just scored 2 touchdowns against a bad team and one was in garbage time.
A lot of times you can use that big name to get more. Guys love names. And I'm not going to name names, but I know guys who are really big on loving the names.
People love
If
names.
that makes sense.
And, I don't know. Like, all I'm saying is this.
I'll take it though. They can stay there. They can do that. We'll just be chilling at Greendale.
Chilling at Greendale, hey, as winners,
Mm-hmm.
as representatives of a championship culture.
That's right. That concludes our preseason power rankings / whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Analysis, whatever. This is the first show you'll get. It's only 20 minutes too long.
And it won't be the last.
Let's go. Who's winning? Place your bets. All right, real quick. I'm going to give all the gambling odds for the championship, right?
Yep.
We have 8 teams. I call myself the favorite.
Yep.
I'm going to say plus 120.
Yep.
I'm going to put you as the second favorite. I'm going to put you at plus 200. Then we're going to go Ben at plus 250.
Yep.
We're going to go Bachman at plus 350. We're going to go Victor at plus 400. We're also going to put Wilson at plus 400.
Yep.
And then we're going to put Danny at about 2,000 to 1.
Yeah. How about Alex?
I forgot about Alex. Alex, my bad. I knew I was forgetting someone. And I
Yep.
went in order. Alex, you're going to be in about that.
I'd say 450, 500.
Wait, what did
400.
No, what did I put Bachman at? I know I took Victor and
350.
Wilson tied. You know what? I'm going to put Bachman, Wilson, Victor, Alex. Bachman, Victor, Wilson, Alex. And who's the other one? In that range? No.
Ben was plus 3.
Oh, Victor. I don't know.
It was
fuck.
just those 3.
Now I fucked it up. Anyway, those
Or
four,
those 4, yeah.
all plus 400.
Yeah.
You got the same odds. So plus 120, plus 150, Ben's plus 250, 4 at plus 400, Danny at 250 to 1.
Yep.
$1 wins you $250 if you win the championship.
Yep. I feel like that's pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate. That concludes it.
All right, guys.
Luke, give him a cheers for it.
Mine's empty, but I'll fake it.
Oh.
I got a drop. All right. We'll see you guys after week 1. We might do
We'll see you after the draft.
Yeah, we might do a post-draft show. I mean, we'll have to remember what goes down in the draft, but we'll have all the teams there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll at least have the order done, so we'll probably do a post-draft show.
Yeah, but it's good to be back, man.
It's good to be back. Another Nux Forum. Guys, good luck this season. Have fun losing to me.
I can't forget the ritual.
Oh, yeah. PC Principal, out.